Finished up the last race of 2023. Did the Twilight race up here in Altoona, Lakemont Park. Sort of a 5K, but not really. It's only 2.8 miles. It's always been 2.8 miles, like every year that they had it. They just never switched it. I've come up here maybe half dozen times now. I did the race New Year's Eve. It's a pretty simple race. You just do 3 laps around Lakemont Park. We got the Christmas lights still up. They play some Christmas music. It seems like a really fast course, obviously because it's short, but also at the same time because you're doing like 3 very short loops. So it just makes things go, at least seem to be a lot faster than they probably really are. This year they had like a record turnout. There's 1,045 pre-registered, but I'm going to say they probably pushed 1,200 with day of registration. I was one of them. So I would say it was pretty close to 1,200 people registered. Whether that many showed or not, even out of like the 1,045 at pre, we'll see how many actually showed up later on after the results all get posted. It's broke up into 3 different races. The 5K, the 2.8 mile starts at 4. Then they have a 2 miler, starts at 4:30, and then a 2-mile walk at 5. So it's only a quarter after 5 now, so the walkers are starting to come in now. It's starting to rain, so I'm going to head home because the roads really get bad between Altoona here and Evansburg, and even to get to Armaugh. But finished 8th overall in 16:44 or something like that, or 42, I don't know, whatever the time was. I was 8th overall. I really didn't care about time or placement today. I knew I wasn't going to win. Some of my fast buddies were here, so I knew I wasn't going to beat them. Plus, I didn't really like mentally prep or really like, I had the mindset coming in I wasn't going to win, so I really wasn't prepped to really push and try too hard today. I actually videoed the race course with my GoPro as I raced it, so we'll see how that turns out. That was actually my main goal for the day, was to actually video the race course because I've been wanting to do it. I just didn't do it last year because I didn't feel like coming up. But we'll see. It's not a flat course, even though it's in like a theme park. It is a little rolling hills here or there, like a couple during the race, so you hit them like 8 times. So you have like 8 little rolling hills throughout the course. So a little bit challenging. The main challenge is if you're running fast, running into people in front of you, because since it's like really short loops, and today we'll just say they had 400 or 500 people doing the 5K. I don't know the exact numbers. We're just going to estimate between 4 and 5. So after you do the first loop, you're coming back on to, like, the people were just taking it easy, like walking or just jogging the course. And the same thing with the 3rd lap. You know, you're running into people, and then you're having to weave in and out, bob, and try not to knock people over, I guess. Even though you do have to sort of like plow through people and go around a little bit while not, you know, twisting an ankle or anything like that. So that was a little bit of a problem this year. I think the max they've had before was like 650, so they had like 400 plus more people this year than they've ever had. So it was a little bit tight. And again, people just don't pay attention. They go like 4 or 5 wide, or even like 3 wide, and they get mad because like runners are coming up behind because they're just not paying attention. They're just out having a good time, but they're not being, I don't want to say disrespectful, but they're not being respectful to stay onto the right-hand side because they're spacing themselves out. But then they get mad because people want to, you know, go around or run around them, whatever. And even little kids, you know, like little kids during races, they weave left to right, doing like S patterns and stuff. So you have to be vigilant of that. So that was a little bit of an issue today. Because even if you're like, some of the people just taking it easy on the 5K, you know, just walking it, the 2-milers started, and like the faster people were catching like the tail end of that. So that's something they might have to think about. You couldn't, like with 1,000 people, you definitely could not have everybody start at one time, but they just might have to cap it, because thousands plus is a little bit too much for the race itself, even though it's for like the YMCA. It's just safety concerns, I guess. But maybe it was spaced out enough. It's just a little bit of an inconvenience for people. I mean, even people just taking it easy and stuff, they're getting run into or pushed around by like people coming up or trying to get through other people going slow, or just one of those little things. But overall, it's not bad. It's marked. I don't want to say it's marked well, because you really don't need markings. It's just, it's hard to explain the course, but it's a lot of like S-type things as well. I'm going to use the S again, but it's just, you go one way, then you circle the other way, and then you like loop back around. But it's kind of a weird pattern, but you really won't get lost at all. And worst case scenario is you follow the person in front of you. But I don't know, I enjoyed it. This year was one of the nicest years, or the nicest year for the race itself. Other years I've come up and it's been like icy and snow covered and raining. It's now raining right now, so I'm gonna have to get going here to get down the hill, because I know one time, man, my ass was puckering on the whole way home, because it like flash froze between Altoona and Evansburg, and that 20-mile stretch, man, my ass was just like, woo, shit. And I was in like a 4-wheel drive truck, and I was scared shitless, just sliding around. That's how bad it was. But you just never know when you come up to this race what the weather conditions are going to be. And it was just nice that this year, like the ground, I mean, it wasn't bone dry, but it wasn't like really moist or anything. So probably led to a lot of faster times this year than compared to others. They have a ton of food afterwards, like chips, string cheese, no bakes, some kind of granola bars that I don't even know what the hell this kind is, but Kate's Real Food that I just started eating. So nice options and stuff like that. I mean, it's a well organized race, but the traditional end of the year. I guess I'm happy with my performance. Again, I wasn't racing the race. It was more coming for environment and videoing today than anything. But I did get my traditional looking YMCA medal. I think they have these every year, like for all 7 or 9 races that they do. It's just same thing. But other than that, I guess that's my race recap. Good way to finish out the year. Get home, change, maybe bike a little bit more. Just enjoy things, I guess. So happy New Year to everybody, and be safe.